Hey everybody, it's me, Andrew. Get out into nature and tune in for yourself. Resonate with the Earth's electromagnetic field via 432 hertz, the universal frequency. Balance out psychologically and emotionally, and further strengthen your brain and your heart's coherence as well. Get a plant based diet going for yourselves today and nurture yourself right back into life. We are literally herbivores in our nature. Further balance out your physical body's pH level and to get with alkalinity, then you can generate some static electricity. Send me some love telepathically. Set attention to your mind and set intention to communicate. That is all there is to telepathy. You are now tuning in to great days. So today I'm going to talk on timeless consciousness and time consciousness together, and I'm going to talk on coming into a timeless consciousness. Okay, because timeless consciousness is needed for self-realization, right? So let's get into this. Um, so there's two consciousness, two types, right? There's much more, but I'm going off of time right now, right? Because I want to talk about time. So there's time consciousness where you have your awareness on time and you're living in time. And then there's timeless consciousness, right? Where you don't have your awareness within time. You're without time, okay? So you can live without time, you can live with time, right? And it's very, very different. When you're living within time, you are within a specific dimension, right? And when you're living outside of time, without time, you're able to free yourself from the conceptual reality of time, right? Because time is only a concept. Um, but once you are able to come out of a time consciousness through whatever method you can find for yourself, you can find great liberation, right? And even self-realization, because the timeless consciousness, it allows you to realize things which a time consciousness limits you to, right? So if you want to say that time is a conceptual reality, or like a type of measurement or something, then this is conceptual and this is limiting due to the fact that it is such, right? So when you're living in a time consciousness, within a society, whatever it may be, you're going to be limited to deeper dimensions that can be accessed without the time within your concept or within concept, right? Because time is like a rhythm. You can say it's a measurement as well, I believe. So, but I want to say it's like a rhythm, right? And we're all living in accordance with that rhythm, right? And because of that, it's like something that we're all dancing to, which is what I used in the past to explain. We're all like dancing to the rhythm of time, right? They've set up the concept of time for us, and we're dancing to this rhythm, right? And because time can be manipulated, they can also decide how we're dancing to it, and the dance kind of equals our expression or even our karma, you know. Um, and because they can decide or manipulate time without us ever actually knowing that they're doing so, they can also decide how we're going to be dancing throughout life, right? Because you kind of need a rhythm and you kind of need a tick to dance to. um, unless you're dancing within timeless consciousness, which is vastly different, because timeless consciousness, it's completely ridding or dissolving away the time in itself, right? So the reason why this is so liberating and it allows for self-realization is because we've lived, or if you live in a society, then you're living with time. The moment you're born, everybody's living on time here, or they're living within time consciousness, right? Everything is revolving around time consciousness here, especially in Western civilization. So if you're able to free yourself up from the time consciousness, you're able to break away from something that you have been living within for the entirety of your life. And this is a great liberation because of the fact that you have been living within time your entire life, right? So you need to free yourself up from that, um, and come into a timeless consciousness, because then you're going to be able to experience more deeply, right? And more freer than you were previously able to experience, because once again, time can be used to cloud your perception, right? Because time is an illusion. It's like the five senses are illusory in their nature, and they're only allowing us to capture 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum, which is experiential, right? So we don't actually see anything using the five physical senses, and time is kind of like that, so once you get rid of it, once you're able to dissolve it away as a concept, or liberate yourself from time, you can experience very, very deeply, deeper and deeper truths, rather than what time has been keeping you from, which is a limitation. Time is limiting. Um, and also time is used to control the mind, right? This is what I mean by them controlling your dance, because they can manipulate time, and they have set up time the way it is currently. They're controlling the mind through this, right? So if you observe society and the way it works, everybody is living within time. Once again, people are waking up at 6 a.m. They have to go to work at 7 or 7:30, and then they got to go do something over here at this specific time, and then they got to go over here and do this at this specific time. So we're using the time. We're using time for precision, to organize ourselves. But this is them being able to use time as a tool to pretty much keep us in organization, like hurting us, kind of, which is, it's kind of a rude way of saying, or a rude way of thinking about it. But this is what time is being used for, right? So when you get rid of this, it allows you to actually come out of the mind a little bit more and come into the timeless, which is the heart center, okay? Because the heart center is all about directly immersing yourself in the experience, and not really thinking, you know, because thinking gets in the way of directly immersifying yourself in the here and now. But when you come into the heart center, you're able to directly immersify yourself in the here and now, and the liberation that comes with the here and now, the present moment, the eternity, is very, 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 very liberating. And eternity is time, but timeless. Okay, it's endless in its nature. Okay, and infinity is endless space. Um, so when you come into the heart, you know the timeless. You're able to experience the timelessness of everything. This is magnetism. This is feeling. This is emotion. Emotion, feeling. Magnetism goes beyond everything, right? Because it's eternal in its nature. It doesn't actually die. It uh it can be felt over any distance, and it can be felt over any time as well, over any space and time. So you got to dissolve away time consciousness, um, and the catalyst for doing this is nature, okay? Because nature doesn't actually use clocks, right? Nature uses life processes. Nature doesn't use a fixed clock, okay? If you go out into a natural environment, you're not going to find any types of clocks. You're not going to find these tools. You're going to see various different life processes. You're going to see mathematics happening, right? And these are organic mathematics. These aren't for control of the human psyche or human organism, but these are all organic sequences and rhythms and processes in mathematics, which is time, okay? Uh, so if you go out into nature, you're not going to find yourself a clock. But if you observe the tree, you're going to be able to understand that the tree's growth is time in itself, but it's not a fixed time, you know. More so, it's like a higher math, a higher type of math, right? Rather than a type of linear math. Um, so if you observe the processes of nature deeply enough, you're going to be able to liberate yourself from the concept of time, that has been programmed into us. Um, and this is going to allow you to come into the fourth dimension very, very easily, because the fourth dimension is going beyond time. A fourth dimensional being is able to traverse the space-time continuum, um, beyond the dimension of time, right? If time is a dimension. uh, so nature, as you observe nature, you're able to come into the fourth dimension as well, because you're able to see its growth process, right? You're able to see it go from a seed to its maturity, and you're able to see this from an overview, an overstanding, right? And that is the fourth dimension, being able to see the seed sprout from or being able to see the seed sprout and mature into a fully grown tree, right? And then back to seeds. And then that loop right there is quantum. So it's a quantum looping, right? And it's different from what a clock is going to show you, okay? A clock is keeping us limited to the fourth dimension, but once you throw away the clock and the concepts that have come with it, then observe nature and the mathematics of nature, then you're able to come into a higher dimensional understanding, because nature is higher dimensional, it's multidimensional. But the concepts that we're using for society are very, very much fixed to a certain dimension, right? So since these concepts are fixed to a certain dimension, we're unable to go beyond these dimensions unless we have um, a liberating experience, which the liberation is freeing us from the control or the conceptual reality, right? Um, so nature is the catalyst for being able to come into a timeless consciousness. Meditation as well. You can meditate to come into a timeless consciousness. You can take psychedelics as well. These are going to allow you to experience timelessness uh, for a little bit, right? Meditation, you can meditate. You can meditate every day, and you can stay within a timeless consciousness. You can do yoga. Yoga and meditation are perfect for coming into this timeless consciousness and going back into a time consciousness, balancing the two, right? Um, and nature, just observing nature more often, spending more time out in nature is going to be able to, it's going to liberate you from a time consciousness as well that has been deeply rooted in your psychological system, your psychological body. All right, so uh, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. I do thank everybody for watching. Once again, come into a timeless consciousness. If you have never experienced this, it is very, very much needed. But that's going to be it. Peace out. One love. Have a great evening.